Siri just testified to Congress that vaccinated children have a higher rate of chronic disease. I'm Aaron Farmer with MySugarFreeJourney.com, and let's talk about this. So Siri is RFK's personal lawyer and advisor, and he gave this incredible testimony on vaccines to the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations. They had a hearing on vaccine science last week. And I would encourage you to read all of the testimony. It was all fascinating. And I just want to say before we get into this that I love vaccines, that everyone should get as many vaccines as they could possibly get. No one should ever do their own research. And I would appreciate it if the social media companies would stop taking down my videos just because I mentioned the word vaccines. Okay? Vaccines are great. So this testimony came in discussion of the Henry Ford study. This is a Henry Ford study. It was done with the Informed Consent Action Network. They took a large group of children. They separated them into two groups, vaccinated and unvaccinated, and measured the outcomes for chronic diseases. And here are the results that were given in testimony to Congress under oath. The Henry Ford study found that vaccinated children had a statistically significant increased rate of various serious chronic diseases. For example, vaccinated children had over 3 times the rate of atopic disease, which is a group of allergic conditions, over 4 times the rate of asthma, over 5.5 times the rate of neurodevelopmental disorder, which included more than 3 times the rate of developmental delay, and more than 4.5 times the rate of speech disorder, almost 6 times the rate of autoimmune disorder. All of these findings were statistically significant. There were other conditions for which a rate could not be calculated because, while many cases existed among the vaccinated children, there were no cases, 0 cases, among the unvaccinated children. For example, while there were many cases of ADHD, learning disability, and tics in the vaccinated group, there were none in the unvaccinated group. It's important to note here that there might be bias. Unvaccinated children probably do not see the doctor as many times as vaccinated children, so there's probably less reporting of chronic diseases. Or maybe there's less reporting of chronic diseases because there are just fewer chronic diseases among the unvaccinated. Who knows? Either way, this is the kind of science that I've been wanting to see for years. What actually happens when you compare the vaccinated to the unvaccinated? Do communities that don't vaccinate have fewer instances of autism and chronic diseases? And what's the rate of the diseases you're actually vaccinating for? Do unvaccinated kids die more often from measles or chickenpox? These are the questions that I want to know. And this study was done and then buried. So I'd like more research done on this subject. Anyway, there's more on my site if you want to come over, mysugarfreejourney.com.